So in today's show, I'm going to talk about the second phase of scaling your wholesaling real estate business. And that's from going from $100,000 to $250,000. If you go and listen to the last episode, phase one was all about going zero to $100,000. And now this is that second phase where the business has become real, right? You've done some deals, you're feeling good. And maybe you're thinking, hey, maybe I'm going to start looking at quitting my job. And so this is pretty exciting. You know, you got to get past that beginner phase where you are just scratching and clawing and just praying your deal is going to close to actually starting to form something that looks like a real business. And so one of my gifts to you, by the way, before I jump into today's episode, go ahead and head on over to nextlevelwholesaling.com, nextlevelwholesaling.com. And there you can download a copy of the Next Level Wholesaling Assessment. This is actually going to rate you in the 4 core areas of your wholesaling business. That's marketing, acquisition, disposition, and accounting. Okay. And basically how much profit you are going to make. Hopefully I didn't make you throw up in your mouth by saying the word accounting. But just look at accounting equals profit. Okay. So go to nextlevelwholesaling.com and download that assessment today. So in the last episode, I talked all about scratching or clawing your way to your first deal and averaging $35,000 a deal, generating your first 100 leads, squeezing 2, 3, 4 deals out of that to make your first $100,000. Now it's time to get off the edge, okay, to generate some consistency in your business and to make a real income. Okay, and to be making a real income in this business, hey, I want you to generate at least $250,000. It's totally doable. You can do it within your first year in business. And if you didn't do it in your first, you sure as heck can do it in your second. And so once you've done those first 2, 3, 4 deals, it's time to take this puppy to the next level. And so there's some key differences between that first $100,000 and now getting to that 250. Right now, maybe you're thinking about this next 6 months in business and you're looking to make $35,000 a deal, and it doesn't take that many, right? You're making $35,000 a deal. You can do between 6 and 8 deals a year, right? That's basically less than one good juicy deal per month. Now, you may be talking about 250 net or 250 gross. Okay, so now if we're talking about 250 net, I don't really care which one it is because you could turn it to 12 to 14. My view here, 12 to 14 deals, is basically the same, the next step in your process. So now we've got to develop some consistency in phase 2. Once you've generated 100 leads, you've got a good real estate broker on your team, you've closed 2 or 3 4 deals at $35,000. You've started to invest in yourself in your sales training. Now we get to the key action you need to take to get some consistency. And that is step 1 in this next phase is a marketing schedule. A marketing schedule. Most people, most wholesalers who get that first deal, they never get past that phase 1. They do RAM. And RAM is the enemy. What is RAM? RAM is random acts of marketing. Random acts of marketing. This is a business killer. If you have RAM, you will be on the treadmill for the rest of your life. You will have no predictable business. You'll be running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You'll be on a massive treadmill. You'll be going from rich to broke, rich to broke, rich to broke, rich to broke every single month and wondering what the heck happened. So don't do RAM. You want to get very consistent. Marketing schedule is very simple. It's a Google spreadsheet. It's an Excel document. It's a calendar. I don't care which one. And it says what you are doing for your marketing every single week for the quarter. It's only 12 weeks. It flies by. And so if you do direct mail, simple. Week 1, I'm mailing this list. Week 2, I'm mailing this list. Week 3, I'm mailing this list. Week 4, I'm mailing this list. Okay, some of those are going to repeat, but just do it. If you're going to be cold calling, same exact thing. If you hired a cold caller, same exact thing. If you're texting, do the same thing. If you're doing PPC ads or you're buying leads from novationleads.com, great. Put the budget and how the campaign is running and do it week after week after week after week. Put a dollar amount in there or a time amount and do it come hell or high water. Now, some people like to wait for a deal to come in to start marketing. No, you got to drip that marketing out every single week to create some consistency in your business. This is the single most important thing to keep yourself off that roller coaster. All right. So to get to 100 to 250K, my advice is to make your first hire, but it's a low risk hire, high reward. And I wish I would have known this when I first got started. If you are listening to this, you probably like the idea of closing your first deal. And so you need to get everything you can off your plate that's not closing deals. However, you do not want to try to outsource too much. You don't need to create a big team, but you want to get these low value tasks off your plate. So my advice to you is to hire a virtual assistant from the Philippines. Why the Philippines? It's a very cost-effective way to do this. You can hire an absolute rock star from the Philippines for like between 800 to 1,000 a month, and they could do everything in your business from an administrative standpoint that does not involve closing deals. Okay, so I'm talking about uploading a list, giving you the results for your list, filing stuff, making sure a wire came in, making phone calls, paying a notary, hiring a notary, emailing a notary, right? Checking on closing dates, checking to make sure if the seller is going to be at a closing. It could be for you to handle some of your bookkeeping if you haven't hired a bookkeeper. It could be handling any software challenges. I mean, anything that you can think of that is not revenue related, a VA can help you do. Every time that you do a VA task, which basically comes down to like $5 an hour, is you are choosing to make $5 an hour instead of making $500 to $1,000 an hour. I'll repeat that. Every time you do an administrative task, you are choosing to make $5 an hour instead of $500 to $1,000 an hour because you are switching out those activities. There's an old saying that if you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant. So it's a conscious decision to lower the value of your time every time you're doing this. So I would hire a phenomenal virtual assistant. By the way, I actually have a list of everything that a virtual assistant can do in your business and more. So if you want to copy that, go to nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com /VA list. Okay. nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com /VA list, excuse me. And there you could download a copy of the list that all the tasks that a VA can do for you. And that's free. Next, and by the way, in that list, it'll show you actually where to find one. Next is make sure that you are sending out an offer to everyone you speak to. Okay. Your hot and warm leads, you should be nurturing to close, right? You don't have to email them an offer or mail them an offer, but if you're meeting with them in person, you want to obviously nurture them and have a conversation with them and have a negotiation and close them on the spot, right? And everybody else, you want to email an offer or send to the mail. Send one through the mail. I can tell you that for every 100 offers that you send out to cold prospects who have no interest in doing business and you guys are so far apart on price, that one of those is going to come back. Okay. And you're going to get a deal that you normally would not have gotten. And that alone could probably take you to 250 grand if you're already making 100. So make sure you send out an offer to every single prospect that is not warm or hot. And the warm or hot ones, you are taken to, okay, close. Okay, you're going to meet with them and actually give them a verbal offer and get the contract signed. Next, you want to hire a bookkeeper. Okay, this is the time where you have to know how much money is coming in and how much money is coming out. You can hire a bookkeeper between, I don't know, $500 and $1,000 a month, depending on kind of the volume that you have. And this is something that's really important. You got to start to think like a business person. So you should, again, a bookkeeper is going to tell you how much you're spending, going to keep track of your expenses, know how much money you have in the bank, how much profit you're taking out. Hire a bookkeeper. If you're making over $100,000 in revenue, now is the time to do that. It's a very, very small price to pay as you grow, and you have to plan on growing. Next, you need to be practicing your sales and negotiation skills on the regular, okay? At least twice a week. At least twice a week. Something that we do with our team is we listen to the No Limit Selling System. That is my proprietary system that I've used to train my team, we've locked up over 1,400 deals. And we still, to this day, practice the 5 communication techniques. Okay. We role play, we listen to recordings, we challenge each other, we critique each other. You got to do it, right? Every single professional works on their craft more than everybody. And I say this a lot, practicing with sellers on actual appointments is not practice. Okay. That's actually the game. Practice is practice when you're not actually talking to sellers, right? You need to critique yourself and go back and watch the tape like they do in football. Okay. And by the way, you got to check out the No Limit Selling System, nolimitsalessystem.com. That's the shortcut to actually getting really, really good at sales. You could certainly listen to the podcast and piece that system together for free if you wanted to. Okay. The next thing is you want to be around people who are making over $100,000 a year. Okay, you got to be around people who are not making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. Not that they're bad, right? That's the majority of people, but they will not push you outside of your comfort zone. You want to feel uncomfortable around your friends that they are doing more than you. And that way they will pull you up and suck you up to a higher level. I'm going to do that again. Up to a higher level. Okay. You want to be uncomfortable around your friends because they are doing better than you. Lastly, to get from 100 to 250K, you want to reinvest 15% of your gross revenue back into your business every single month. Okay. So take that 15%, put that in your marketing calendar that I talked about, and reinvest it every single month. Okay. So I'm going to review to get from 100 to 250. Number one, you got to get a marketing schedule, get a Google spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, calendar, put what you're going to do every single week on there. Number two, you got to hire a VA. Okay. A VA is going to take all the administrative tasks off your plate. I guarantee you this is probably like 60 or 70% of your time right now if you're just getting started. Take that time and put it back on your business. I'll give you a free list of all the tasks that a VA can do. They could probably do more, but I've written down a ton. So you could free up your time. Go to nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/VA list. Next offer goes out to everybody. All right. Everyone you talk to, whether they are far apart on price or a little far apart on, or just a little bit, send them a written offer, right? Your warm and hot leads, you don't need to send them a written offer. You will take them a contract, or if they verbally agree, then you send them the contract. But out of the other 100 cold leads, people who you thought maybe weren't going to go do business with you, one of them will come back. Okay. And this is how you get to that 250. Hire a bookkeeper. Okay. Understand and think like a business person. Get really good at sales negotiation and practice that on the regular. Okay. Be around people who are making $100,000 plus. Get uncomfortable, be around people who are making more money than you. And lastly, please reinvest 15% of your gross revenue back into marketing so that you can fuel your business. Make sure you head on over to nextlevelwholesaling.com and take that assessment. Let me know how it goes. Join me in the Facebook group at wholesalingincgroup.com, and I would love to chat with you there. Talk to you soon.